Don't wait for signs. Why did Neville Goddard say you've already failed if you're hunting for proof? Law of assumption, friend of the universe. How many times have you prayed, visualized, affirmed, then secretly checked your phone waiting for something to happen, waiting for a notification, waiting for a strange message, waiting for repeating numbers on the clock, hoping it's a sign the universe is answering? And when no sign shows up, your heart starts to doubt again. Maybe I'm not sure enough. Maybe I'm not worthy yet. Maybe my manifestation isn't ready to arrive. Today, let me say something that might sting a little, but could set you completely free. Neville Goddard said, "If you're still looking for signs, you don't believe. And if you don't believe, you haven't created." Simple words, but radical. Because every time we wait for proof from the outside world, we're sending a quiet message to the subconscious. I'm not sure this is real yet. The laws of the universe don't respond to requests born from doubt. They respond to the calm vibration of certainty. Friend of the universe, do you realize that every time you wait for a sign, you're delaying your own miracle? It's like telling the universe, "I won't believe until you prove it." And right there, manifestation stops moving. This law doesn't work by see first, then believe. It works the opposite way. Believe first, and then you'll see. Picture an expectant mother. She doesn't wake up every morning checking her belly, asking if the baby is still growing. She knows it's real. Even before the world sees it, she lives in a deep quiet because she's carrying something unseen. That's how the law of assumption works. When you've truly conceived a new reality, you stop chasing evidence outside. You simply live from that inner certainty, and the world rearranges around you. Here's the biggest trap for manifestation seekers. We get obsessed with signs, synchronicities, and angel numbers, and we forget that signs are not the source of faith. Signs are the reflection of faith. Neville said signs will come, but not to convince you. They come because you're already convinced. See the difference? On one side, you wait for signs so you can feel belief. On the other, you believe first. And signs show up as the echo of your certainty. So if today you're still scanning for proof, checking messages, checking your balance, or hunting for random events as validation, then you're actually walking backward from the very law you're trying to practice. Friend of the universe, let's be honest with ourselves. Do you truly believe your miracle already happened? Or do you want to believe, but you're still waiting for the first proof? Neville was clear. True faith doesn't need a sign. True faith sees the unseen and rests as if everything's already finished. Because when you're still searching for signs, you're admitting, without meaning to, that you haven't become the person who lives in your chosen reality. You're still a seeker, not a creator. That's why Neville said, "The one who needs proof has already failed, not because they'll never get it, but because they're strengthening their own unbelief." In this video, we'll break it all down. Why waiting for signs actually pushes your desire away, and how to replace it with blind faith, a state where you stop waiting, stop searching, and start living as if it's done. I'll guide you through 3 phases of faith without proof, the key to why manifestations can arrive without warning, without signals, without number codes or forecasts, because you've already become the reality itself. So don't wait for signs. Don't wait for the universe to speak in codes or magic messages. The real sign isn't outside. It's the calm that grows inside. Friend of the universe, just by dropping the habit of waiting for signs, you'll accelerate your manifestations exponentially. Because faith isn't waiting for something to happen. Faith is becoming something even before it happens. Watch to the end, because we'll unpack 3 simple steps to activate blind faith. The kind that doesn't need proof, yet pulls all proof toward you. Are you ready to stop waiting and start trusting it's already done? If yes, stay here. We begin this journey together in the secrets of the universe tonight. Proof versus faith. Friend of the universe, have you noticed how often we live from the need to be reassured? We want to see first, then believe. We want to hear first, then relax. But the universe works the other way around. Neville Goddard said, "The law of assumption is the art of believing without proof, and because of that belief, the proof appears." When you wait for signs and evidence, you're rejecting the core mechanism of this law. You're trying to control what isn't yours to control. You're trying to make the universe bow to clock time, when faith operates beyond time and space. Think of it like this. An expectant mother doesn't run to the doctor every hour to make sure the baby is growing. She knows. She's calm. She lives from a deep inner knowing that something is developing inside, even if the eyes can't see it yet. That's the law of assumption, creation happening quietly in consciousness. When you wait for signs, you're opening that spiritual womb too early. You're pulling up the seed just to check if it's growing. And every time you do that, you interrupt the growth. Neville gave a beautiful instruction. Your job is to live at the end. At the end of the story, you're already wealthy, already healed, already loved, already successful. The one who truly lives at the end doesn't look for signs that the end is coming. They're already there. The wealthy don't wake up and ask, "Am I rich today?" They know. That quiet knowing creates a stable signal that attracts matching reality. But the person who keeps checking their account, their numbers, their messages, is telling the universe they still believe in lack. And the universe can only multiply what you acknowledge. That's why Neville insisted, searching for signs isn't faith. It's disguised doubt. You're supposed to follow faith, not lead it. When you're certain, signs appear on their own, not to calm your nerves, but as a natural reflection of the energy you're radiating. So stop looking for proof that your prayer is working. Stop waiting for outside validation. What matters isn't what you see. It's who you feel you are right now. If today you can feel yourself already at the destination, the universe will reroute everything to make you right. Now to the practical core. How do you stop looking for proof and replace it with quiet conviction? Faith that doesn't need signs but creates them. Neville called it 3 phases of faith, 3 stages that move you from the itch to see into an unshakable knowing. Stay with me, friend of the universe. This next part is the most transformational. The 3 phases of faith without proof. Understand them, and you'll never again ask, when will the sign appear? Because you will be the sign. The 3 phases of faith without proof. Phase 1. Stop the physical checking. End the habit of verifying the reality you've already created. This is the hardest part for most people. You're asked to stop seeking physical signs of what hasn't shown up yet. Every time you check your phone, refresh your balance, look for a message, or wait for repeating numbers on your watch, you're sending a subtle signal to the subconscious. I don't believe this is real yet. Neville reminds us, true faith needs no validation. Until you stop verifying, you're not actually living in the assumption. A simple but deep practice. Tomorrow morning, when the urge to check for a sign arises, say in your heart, I'm already there. I don't need proof. Say it gently but firmly. Imagine closing the energy leak that's been dripping out through curiosity. You're not losing control. This is where true control begins. When you stop chasing signs, your energy stops spinning outward and starts settling inward, creating a strong, still center where your new reality can hatch. Phase 2. Feel the relaxed indifference. When something is truly real to you, you're calm. This phase is often misunderstood. Indifference doesn't mean you don't care. It means emotional freedom from needing a result. When you genuinely believe your manifestation is real, your heart gets light. You don't fidget. You don't ask when, because you know it's done. Indifference isn't giving up, it's stopping the force. You stop micromanaging the universe because you know the law never fails. Practice. Whenever you get antsy because you can't see it yet, breathe slowly. Hand on heart, say, I'm calm because my story is finished. What I'm experiencing now is just an echo of my past state. Feel that relief. Recognize that what you see is only residue from an older version of you, and that your new wealthy, healthy, loved self already exists in another layer of reality. The more you can be unmoved by apparent lack, the faster the new version appears. Calm is the signal that you're synced with the end. Phase 3. Become the state. You're not acting as if you're rich. You are the wealth itself. This is the highest phase. Here, you stop pretending and start being. You no longer think, how do I believe? Because belief has become your natural breath. You don't practice faith. You are faith. Neville called this living in the end. You've stepped into your final role. There's no distance between you and your desire. Inner instruction. Change your self-talk. Not I will be rich, but of course I'm rich. Not a question, not a hope, just a soft certainty, like someone who already knows. When your inner speech changes, the world shifts to mirror your new status. You start speaking, moving, thinking, and feeling like someone who has arrived. And the funny thing is, at this stage you stop caring when the manifestation comes, because your life itself has become the evidence. You're walking, talking, and feeling from the state that it's already yours. Friend of the universe, these 3 phases aren't a quick trick. They're a deep journey into true conviction. You'll know you've reached the summit when your heart no longer needs any sign at all, because you know you are the sign. Your presence, your energy, your calm, that's the signal to the universe that you've become your new self. When that happens, manifestations arrive without noise. Not because you chased them, but because you matched them. After this, you'll realize that signs, proof, and outside symptoms are no longer things you chase. They're only the shadow of your new state of consciousness. Neville once closed a lecture with a powerful line: "Signs will come, but they're not a call to believe. They're the echo of a faith already firm." At that point, you no longer wait for the universe to speak through symbols, because the universe is already speaking through you. Friend of the universe, now you know. Signs aren't the requirement for belief. Signs are the consequence of steady belief. When you stop waiting, stop seeking validation from the outside, and start living from inner certainty, miracles begin working quietly without you noticing. What moves the universe isn't your effort to find proof. It's your inner vibration aligned with the finished result. Neville Goddard said, "True faith doesn't need evidence to stand. It stands because it knows the reality is already finished." So stop waiting for signs to arrive. They will come, but not to make you believe. They come because you already believe, not to give hope, but to confirm you're on the right path. Imagine your life from today. You're no longer living from curiosity, no longer trapped in the hunt, no longer measuring spiritual progress by what shows up outside. You live from within, from a calm the mind can't explain, from a conviction that doesn't need to be spoken, because your heart already knows, "I have arrived." That's the core of the law of assumption. The outer world is a mirror of the inner world. When the inner says, "Finished," the outer answers, "So be it." Friend of the universe, here's a small but mighty assignment. Starting tonight, whenever you feel restless, whenever you want to check for a sign or proof, pause, breathe slowly, hand on heart, say softly, "I don't need a sign. I am the sign." Repeat it with full presence. Let your body believe it. Let its vibration sink deep into you. Then watch what happens over the next few days. Not because you're waiting for a miracle, but because you have become the miracle. Remember, true faith isn't see, then believe. It's believe first, and the world adjusts. When you stop waiting, you give the universe room to work. When you stop searching, you give miracles permission to find you. So if tonight you're truly ready to stop chasing signs and start being the proof of your own faith, write in the comments, "I don't need a sign. I am the sign." Say it with full awareness as confirmation that from tonight, you've stepped into a higher level of faith. Faith that doesn't ask for proof, because it is the proof. Friend of the universe, thank you for walking with me tonight on this small journey into bigger certainty. Remember, what you're seeking outside has always been waiting to be found inside. See you in the next episode of the Universe's Secrets. Keep being the light. Keep being the evidence of the miracle you believe in. Want to unlock even more? Tap the link in our bio to access the Abundant Wealth Code sound frequency, designed to elevate your potential and align you with a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. If this message resonates, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your presence and support matters more than you know, and together we rise.